Hello, my name is Andrew Hagle. Some of you know me as Sniggle Fluffy on Experience Project or Truckin' Hubby on Twitter. And this is a conversation I had with my wife, Kathy. Many of you know her as Truckinwife on either Experience Project or Twitter, on the Benghazi and on the media. So I thought this was quite an interesting conversation. I'd love to hear
about the Benghazi thing. What did you think of the hearings today?
I was younger at the time, but it reminded me a lot of Watergate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You think this is going to be like the Irwin Committee in Watergate?
I would hope so. Kind of hesitant on that due to the fact that Obama seems to want to silence any critics, and I think he's doing underhanded ways of silencing people.
Oh, really?
I would say it's almost mafia style.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I know one thing in Watergate was that when Nixon was nearly impeached, or actually he would have been impeached before he was removed from office, that what made the difference was that the media didn't like him and a lot of people personally didn't like Richard Nixon. And at least with the media, I don't see the media disliking Obama like they dislike Nixon. What do you think?
I totally agree with that. Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of the media has been bought out or controlled by the powers that be, and I can't say it's just Obama. That'd be nice to be able to just say it's Obama, but I can't say that. There's a lot of older powers in Washington, D.C. that want to remain in control.
I agree totally. And like I said, the difference is with the media that makes such a big difference in this whole thing. Just amazing.
Yeah, and I would say even Fox is kind of slanted.
I agree. Fox says it's fair and balanced, and honestly, to me, Fox is just a bit less offensive than CNN or MSNBC.
Well, you know, the thing that got to me was this morning when I was watching the coverage on Fox. Just when there was a really good set of questions, it always seemed that they were popping up into commercials.
I noticed that. I was actually quite disappointed in the coverage on Fox News. It'd be interesting to see what our viewers think, if they feel like that Fox News' coverage is disappointing.
I was frustrated.
I felt like it was. I know C-SPAN covered it more extensively. I know he pulled some videos off on YouTube, and then Patriot Action put some stuff out about the Democratic rants. Haven't actually had a chance to look at Patriot Action yet, but I'm sure
I had to step away because, quite honestly, with this whole Obama and the way the media is controlling it, and Obama silencing things, and the lack of awareness and the sheeple that are out there with this whole Obama thing has gotten me really, I'm sad to say, disappointed in our political ways in the United States. And I'm trying to shake that. I don't know if it's what it is, but there seems to be a lot of cover-ups, and I'm not one for conspiracy theories. I think they're kind of like off base, but sometimes I feel like I have to wear a tinfoil hat just to get through watching the news at times, because there's so much I honestly feel is being covered up, and I can't explain it. But there's things that I'd ask that are not being asked, and then people say, well, yeah, it's just okay. And I'm going, no, I don't think so. And I'm going to go out online. Even Glenn Beck at times kind of like, well, there might not be this. And I see inconsistencies. Maybe I've read too many Sherlock Holmes books and done a lot of too many mysteries or something, but sometimes there's unanswered questions like that. The Sandy Hook thing, I mean, that was awful convenient, and that one guy he had the kids there. I have questions about that because they weren't too far away from the fire station, so wouldn't be the logical place for children that were scared of something? Aren't you taught as a child to run to a fire station? So why would they go to a man's garage instead of a fire station?
That is a good question. I was actually wondering that myself.
And I mean, these are simple questions, Below Joe has. And then like with this Benghazi thing, I mean, there's questions there that need to be answered that are not being answered. And what you told me about bridging and how people want to flip what do you call it?
You mean like talk about what they want to talk about, not what the other person wants to talk about?
Yeah.
That's a
Changing the conversation.
very interesting concept.
Because I don't think the average person really understands what is generally now called the spin, which is actually technically called bridging. And not only does liberals do it, but conservatives do it, and it's done a lot on the political realm. And after you've taught me that, every time I see someone wanting to do that, I grit my teeth, because there'll be a question, and then they'll spin it up and say, well, I don't think it's that way, and then it's then it's going off, and you're going, they didn't answer the question.
I know.
And then the guy will say, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's like the question wasn't asked, and if you weren't acknowledged in that, then you would not really understand what was going on, and you would think that the question was asked and answered when neither was done.
I know. It's amazing. I really didn't understand that until I got to NCCI when the guy taught it and he went through it, and then he explained well, and I was going to talk about the Yankees. That was my agenda. I was like, whoa, he did that. And it's like, how'd he do that? It was quite amazing, and I didn't realize that that's what he did until I got down there, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. And then when you taught me that, and I started watching things on the news and stuff, and it wasn't even just a Benghazi or even Obama, because at the time it was, when you were in NCCI, it was with Bush.
Right, Bush was president.
And there were things that were being sleight of hand during speeches and answering questions with a question.
So true.
And now we're getting it even more so, where nothing's being answered, but people are feel, it's okay. And it's not, it's not so much okay. And then, speaking on that, I know I'm kind of gabbing here. That whole thing, like what we ran into with our small church group, and the guy that was saying that to be safe, he'd rather give up some of his civil rights, his American rights. Remember that?
I know, that was just absolutely amazing. That absolutely floored me. It was not totally not expecting that one, because I don't think people quite understand that when they give their rights up, that once they give them up, that's it. They're done. They're not going to get any more rights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was saying that he was going to have safety because he gave up these civil rights, and I was going, do you really actually understand what you just said? And it was like, oh yeah, it's okay, because the government's going to take care of us. And all I could say is, Benghazi. Yeah, the government took care of that embassy.
I agree.
And that's incredible. It's incredible how asleep the American people are.
Oh, I know. And it scares me when people say they want to give their rights up.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what I am so concerned about. And like I said, I'm sure that was the same thing that people thought in pre-World War II Germany.
And you know the other thing that concerns me and really frustrates me on this is I go down the street and I see the person driving in the pickup truck or the lady that's walking down the sidewalk with a stroller, and you think of all these high and mighty people, including Obama, and how much they say that they really care for these people.
This whole thing is amazing, and I'm sure, like I said, that that's what people said in pre-World War II Germany.
There was a pie chart I saw just recently that was mentioning that this kind of thing even happened in the Revolutionary War, that only 1/3 of the American people at that time were wanting the war.
Right. And history books forget that, and history books don't teach that.
And history books don't teach that they were gun grabbing too.
I know. That really amazed me that they don't teach that. They don't tell kids that.
And no one thinks of that.
I know. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing that they don't tell you that.
The lies and the deceit. This is so much like what we started out with, the Watergate
I know.
and Nixon, and when they called him the imperial president. I mean, you look at Obama, and he's, for lack of a better term, the teleprompter president. I mean, he sits there and he looks good for the media and for the talk shows.
He does.
But what has he really done? How much time has he really spent in the Oval Office?
Not enough.
Including Benghazi when he went to bed. Good grief.
I know.
That's a leader? Pop! Okay.
Oh, I agree. Amazing. Just amazing.
And Hillary, and what difference does it make?
That one was amazing.
Maybe they need to add that quote to when they sit there and they say that she's. I think they had Hillary Clinton as Reader's Digest, one of them Reader's Digest most trusted 100 people, and I think they had some kind of elegant quote from her. Actually, they need to have the quote. What's the difference?
I know. What difference does it make?
What difference does it make?
What difference does it make? I like the one that was on Facebook. What difference does it make? 4 Americans are dead. That's what difference it makes.
No kidding. And if it's four Americans that are dead now, then you know what's going to happen in the future if it's not stopped.
That is a very good question. That's a very insightful point, and I was actually wondering that myself.
Because I don't think it's just going to stop with Benghazi, unfortunately.
I agree. Unfortunately, I agree with you. It's not.
I am Andrew Hagle, and I brought you this message. Please join me on the following social media sites to continue the conversation. Thank you for watching, and God bless.